Hey guys, Bob here from Raw Strength and Muscle, and I'm going to talk about the most efficient workout again. This time we're specifically going to be talking about the abdominals, okay? Now, a lot of people look at abdominal training like it's different from the rest of your body. How do you get a big lower body? You do heavy squats. How do you get a big upper body? You do heavy pull-ups. Okay, great. How do you get abs? You do a tiny little baby movement and crunches and like barely contract the muscles and don't, do anything hard or heavy, no additional weight, and you just do like a million reps of a million sets. It's like, it makes no sense, okay? Because I want my abs to be as blocky and as chunky and as thick and as strong and as useful as every other muscle in my group. So my body. So if I'm doing like 5 sets of 5 for most of my body parts, I'm going to be doing, multiple sets of low reps for my abs as well. Okay. So what I basically do is I start off and I do standing ab wheel rollouts. Okay. I don't do anything but body weight. Anybody who says that standing ab wheel rollouts just builds endurance, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. That's one of the hardest body weight exercises there is. Okay. So first of all, I go ahead and do them. Now, after I do them, I go ahead and I do hanging leg raises with ankle weights, okay? Straight legs all the way up to the bar, all the way down again, no swinging. That means I lower under control. That's why I don't swing. Very difficult exercise. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh yeah, well, when you do leg raises, what you're doing is you're using, your hip flexors. That's good. That's a good thing. You want to use your hip flexors, okay? Just like you're not isolating your quads when you do like a squat, you're using all these muscles together. It's a good thing because it allows you to train the way you are going to perform in real life. You're never going to use your quads in isolation, okay? You're always going to be using your entire body as a unit. So it makes sense to do a squat and train your body as a unit. And it's the same thing here. I remember when I was a kid, I read a magazine article in a fitness magazine, and the guy's like, listen, there are kids these days, they can't walk, they can't run, they can't swim, because they don't have their hip flexors developed. All they do are maybe a couple crunches. They don't do any big movements. So because of that, they don't train their hip flexors. When you do swimming, when you do a flutter kick, you're using your hip flexors as well as your abs. For me, like if I'm going to go ahead and throw a front kick or throw a knee, I'm going to be using my hip flexors as well as my abs. So that's another reason why you don't use like this little tiny movement and isolate your abs with crunches. You need to use your hip flexors and your abs together to be able to do a big movement. If you want to run, you need to run, like to sprint, to bring your knee forward. That's using your hip flexors and your abs. So if you want anything at all, okay, any real world usage at all from your abs, you need to use your hip flexors as well. So those two exercises are hard as hell. They really, break down the muscles. They really make you strong, okay? Then after that, I start doing some like lighter work, okay? But the lighter work that I do, I'm really just bringing up some like complementary muscle groups, okay? Some smaller muscle groups that cannot handle and do not need that much weight. So after I've done my standing ab wheel rollouts, after I've done my hanging leg raises, what I'll do is I'll go on a 45 incline, a hyperextension bench, and I'll start just doing side bends, okay? It's just to build up my sides. I don't use any weight. I go all the way down, all the way up. I do multiple sets of that, maybe 4 sets of 10, okay? Get really good movement, get really good contraction, okay? And then after that, I basically just grab a plate and I start doing different exercises where I'll do a superset. I'll do, tilting for my side muscles, and then I'll do turning for my side muscles. And what this does is builds the rest of my core, okay? Like I said, those are not the same heavy exercises, but I basically did 2 heavy exercises for my abs and for my hip flexors. And then I did 2 other exercises, mainly for my sides, for my serratus, okay? The movements that, like I said, they bend me sideways and they turn my body, okay? Because once again, like I said, let's say you have to defend yourself. You have to smack someone with the palm of your hand. You're going to have to go ahead and do that by turning in, okay? So by grabbing a plate and turning like this, you're really teaching your body how to explosively, with strength, come in, okay, and apply force to an outside body, okay? So like I said, everything that I do for my abs is basically the same way that I train the rest of my body, okay? Heavy, hard. Like I said, I do a couple of like complementary exercises using lighter weight or no weight, but those are for smaller parts of my core that can't handle as much weight. And, like I said, basically I just want my abs to be as thick and as big and as strong as possible for performance. And also a lot of times you're going to see me, like I'll go from a bulking diet into a cutting diet and people will be like, dude, you've already got abs. I'm fat, but I've got abs when I'm going into a cutting diet because I just have such thick, strong, blocky abs. They actually push through the fat. So you can also imagine when I do get lean, okay, and I am lean enough to see my abs, how good my abs look compared to the average person. Because, a lot of people say, well, you just need to lose fat and then you're gonna be able to see your abs. A lot of people don't have abs to see. They'll get so lean, they'll be like 10 times leaner than I am, and you'll just have like a little bit of a line or a definition somewhere, like are they really abs or are they just like 2 strips of muscle? I mean, what's going on here? Whereas if you train your abs hard, you'll be at a higher body fat percentage, still be able to see your abs. And when you get lean enough to see your abs, you'll be really, really just brutal looking abs, okay? So anyway, thank you guys for watching the video. I appreciate it. If you're interested in my group coaching or my nutrition or my workout programs, check out the links below. Aside from that, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.